Okay, my name is Makayla Keate. I am a homegrown Utah slam poet. Uh, that's most of it. I also do a lot of meme stuff on the internet, which I'll tell you about. It's all news to you that I'm hoping will help me propel my pursuits as a poet. So, I mean, I launched a TikTok account circa 3 months ago. Um, it's called Recycled Tumblr. I have like 38,000 followers now, and it just perform popular Tumblr posts. And so I've been trying to drag those children over to watch my poetry. That was the plot all along. Well, the thing that's nuts is that when I post, because I had a separate poetry account on TikTok, but then I stopped kind of uploading it when I realized it'd be easier to get eyes using memes, because that's also a lot less work to make a quirky little meme video than it is to like record even a short poem piece. Because it's just more memorization, and it's also just a lot more emotional investment. It just takes a lot out of a person to do. Poetry is only the really intense acting segments, I feel like, the ones that exhaust you, and none of the light happy dappy stuff. Even if it's a fun poem, there's just so much emoting that you have to do that it's exhausting. And so I'm not always ready for that, but I can always give you a garbage meme, and like the more tired I am, really the funnier it is, because they're like, you practice what you preach, you're exhausted, and like, and so but yeah, so the thing that's nuts though is the difference between having an audience that cares about specifically you versus new people who are seeing your content. Because when I dropped the last segment of my last slam poem, I did a little 38-second intro of it to both my poetry page and my meme page. And the crazy thing was, even in the beginning, as I had like the same amount of views, because even if you don't have a large following base, TikTok will put it out to some people on their For You page to see how it goes. So at the point when they had about the same number of views, my TikTok account had like more than 6 times the number of likes per view than my other account did. And so just seeing people who are like directly invested in me as a person, I know will help me accumulate true fans, which will help with launching a Patreon and actually making some small form of lucrativity, which is a word now, out of poetry. So TikTok currently, it's free to upgrade to a pro account, which is super cool, because then not only, so I can see my analytics from every day. I can see how many views I got every day, like the views on the posts. I can click the posts and I can see the percent average view time. So like how far they got through my video, which is the #1 metric on TikTok for like how far they put your video on the For You page, which is to new people who aren't your followers, and sometimes to your followers. Like, because I have 38,000 followers, but my videos that don't really get out on the For You page will range anywhere, once they've been up for like a week, they'll range anywhere from about 2,000 views to like 8,000 views. And so that's the people who are consistently seeing from my follower base. But I can also see what the percent is from the For You page versus the percent from following and the percent from people who looked at my personal profile or the hashtags. So I can see a ton of analytics on TikTok, which is really cool. Really, right now, it's really the only platform for that type of creation at this time that is not oversaturated with performers. And so it's the #1 best platform to be discovered on right now, but it's not a very good platform for monetization. So that's why I'm trying to suck the children to like more lucrative platforms. And so a lot of people who get an audience on TikTok will start to do that. They'll put little funny compilations. I'm also launching a channel called What Does It Meme, which is just going to be meme review. I've tried 3 times to make like the first video for that, and it's gone poorly, but I'm learning each time. And so, but because it's similar content to what I put on my TikTok, I am quite confident that I'll be able to get some good interaction over there. So it'll take some time, but yeah, the distinction of true fans, I mean, that's not something I can totally see on TikTok, but I took a class called Jump Cut Academy. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's this course that was put together by really successful YouTubers for like how to trigger the YouTube algorithm and like how to grow an audience, and stuff. And they talk about a lot about monetization as well. And you only need about 1,000 true fans to make a living as an influencer, as long as you know the right ways to monetize. But a true fan is someone who will watch anything you put out and buy anything you make. And so obviously that's a massive level of engagement. But the fact that I've already had getting someone to like the video is, the bottom level of interaction. And then commenting is a slightly higher level of interaction. And then if you can get them to click a link, that's a lot higher, versus if you can get them to leave the app and make a separate search for your name, that shows a very high level of investment. So I now have a link from my page that helps to get there, but even before I did, I'd had about 70 people move over to my poetry page, which means they had to independently search for me there, which, like, those 70 are worth probably more than like 1,000 followers on TikTok. So, like, yeah. So, well, first of all, TikTok just monetized for views, like YouTube. Like, by just, I mean like a week ago. So I'm making about $1 a day on TikTok, by the way. LOL smiley face. I have like $8.60, so be jealous. Which I can't cash out on until like 30 days after the end of the month, but it's there. I'm an influencer. I'm making money. Pretty much ready for a living. But this identically to YouTube, even on YouTube, the actual checks that YouTube cuts you are actually the worst of the 5 ways to monetize on YouTube. So there are 5 different ways to monetize on YouTube, which are not as easy to do on TikTok for reasons that I could explore. But the 5 ways are ad revenue, which is the worst way, and it's the actual checks that they give you. You have to be massively large to make even a decent amount of money in ad revenue. But once you get even 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and about 100,000 followers on TikTok, which I hope to eventually get to, we'll see, then you can start doing brand deals. Personally, I mean, I haven't tried either of them, but I would assume brand deals are more lucrative on YouTube than on TikTok, partly because the TikTok algorithm, this is advantageous for getting discovered, but it's not great for if you're a consistent content creator who has an audience. The algorithm's really fickle. Like, you just don't know how many people your video is going to get out to. And I'll be making content that's pretty, like, so my central content, the first video that did really well and that I just keep making, is the entirety of Gen Z. That's like the title of it. It'll be like episode 20. But and then it's just me saying like relatable like things that I've in the beginning it was mostly verbatim from Tumblr posts, but now I've branched off and rarely do I ever use anything verbatim. Now it's mostly my own stuff and it's still done really well, but I'm making stuff that's like pretty freaking similar, and I'll even have a comparable percent view time, and that's like supposed to be the biggest metric, and a comparable amount of likes to views, and it's still like one of them will go to 8,000 and one of them will go to 70,000. And so I just like, there's no consistency. And so when it comes to brand deals, the brands don't really know how many views you're gonna get, even if you have like 1 million followers. And so
Sure.
But what's better about a YouTube video too is that you can have a YouTube video that's not about the brand deal and throw 30 seconds in for them, versus 30 seconds on TikTok would have to be pretty much the whole video because it can only be a minute long. And brand deal only videos rarely do well. They rarely get shared. And so I would assume brand deals can be more lucrative on YouTube. So we have ad revenue, brand deals. Next we have Patreon. And Patreon is, so brand deals is something I'd hope to do with my What Does It Mean channel, but Patreon is a lot more for artists, and I'm sure you're familiar with that. Singers, poets, and people who do visual art. And so because I can't put a 30-second like ad in the middle of my poem, because that would be horrible, like at the end I can request that people do Patreon, and I'm sure most of the people listening to this podcast probably know what it is, but it's just that people sign up to be a patron to you, and they can give as little as $1 or as much as like $50 a month, but obviously people usually don't do that. But like an average really of about $3 a month contributed for small incentives, like I will let you come follow my secret Instagram where I post extra poetry content or something, um, or let you see drafts, stuff like that, or bloopers. And so I've started setting up my Patreon. The problem is I don't have everything down enough that it's like easy for me to. I'm wanting to get a poem out every week because I finally have a studio set up in my room. Look at this backdrop ratchet on my screen, but it's there. I have, camera and stuff all set up in my room, so I'm hoping to drop a poem a week. Whether or not I can actually do that, we don't know.
Yeah. Well, you've done one. I saw it. It was fantastic. I just loved it. The aesthetics. I loved your poetry with the words already. So I wasn't surprised that the poem and the performance were both exceptional. I was like, look at those camera angles. Look at that lighting. Look at that background. Like, this looks so, this is everything it needs to be. Are you talking about
the one I just dropped?
Yeah. About men.
What I ask of men. Yes. Okay, I'm glad. There are a lot of things I want to learn how to do better with the audio. I'm gonna get some more, what are they called? Acoustic panels, so I don't have as bad of an echo. And then I also need to figure out how to like remove static, which is stuff that my dad has Premiere, so I'm able to use it, which is like super fortunate. My privilege is like off the charts. Like all of the help that I have doing this is like way more than most people have, and I'm grateful. But anyway, but so my hope is to be able to get that out consistently. And what does it mean once a week? And then TikTok every night and I've been keeping that up every day. I think I've missed 3 days in the last over 3 months.
That's a long, continuous stretch.
It is. And fortunately, well, for a 45-second video, it really takes me like 40 minutes because I'm reshooting the individual lines. And then when you're editing on TikTok, it's a great app for editing short videos. Like, it's way better than Instagram. Like, it has green screen filters already put in. You can adjust individual clips. You can rearrange them. You can put on filters and effects. It's really pretty cool. Like, I was too cool for TikTok for like a while because it's not cool with like, college students yet. Like, Vine died and we believe TikTok is soulless. But I got on it and it's like, it's a really fascinating app. It's also like more personal than any like social media app I've ever been on, and I'm not sure how to explain that. And maybe it's because there's so frequently live and stuff going on, and maybe it's because the video takes up the whole screen and you scroll through and you're constantly connected to like your favorite creators. But like, I don't know how to explain it, but TikTok currently has the highest interaction rate of any existing social media platform, at least that's big. I don't know if there's so like on Instagram, if you have over 50,000 followers, your average interaction rate's like 4%, whereas on TikTok it'll be like 8%. I just made up those numbers, but like it's sort of like that proportionally. And so that's interesting, but anyway, it does take me a long time to put it out, and so time consuming. Back to Patreon. The reason I have yet to launch my Patreon is because I need to be on a firm enough footing that it's easier for me to know how to use the equipment and everything to put out my main content every week before I can start providing incentive content above that. Because like I don't have the bandwidth yet.
Yeah.
Plus, with 38,000 followers sounds like a lot, but on TikTok, most of those people aren't actually seeing consistently my content. I would probably equate that to, I don't even know if I would equate that to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like maybe 7 or 8,000.
Yeah, I can see why that would be like apples to oranges. It is totally cross translate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different. And so likelihood that I could get people over to Patreon yet is low anyway. Okay, but those are the first 3. Number 4 is merch drops. That is self-explanatory, but obviously way down the road. But just saying, I bet you I could design some of the wildest merch. like for my meme stuff, like if I've just got an audience of people who just like want like just quirky, like ridiculous shirts, like you know what? I could launch my own meme shirt store. I'm fully confident in it. Like, I'm just like, I don't know, fun, quirky things that people are like, I want my chest to say that today. So
I like that way of explaining it.
yeah. And then on the poetry side, I would like to, way down the road, also be able to create merch for that. But in the very small audience so far that has seen my poetry, I've had multiple requests from people to print out the poem so they can frame it and put it on their wall. So because that already exists, once I have, a committed fan base, I would love to be able to create stylized prints of my poems and sell them as posters. And I think that could be fun way down the road to be able to do. And then of course there's number 5, which is digital products, which is way down the road and also the hardest to produce, but also by far the most lucrative, which would be like if I sold for $20 a digital course on poetry writing and like how to improve your poetryness and your performance or whatever, and so those are the 5 ways. And you can get brand deals on TikTok. In fact, TikTok will help connect you to brand deals once you hit 100,000 followers. They have a thing that you can qualify for called TikTok Marketplace. And then you qualify at 100,000 and brands will reach out to you. It still would probably be a better idea to try to reach out to brands first. But that is there. So with TikTok, you now get like a complete pittance of ad revenue. Yay. $1 a day. We love it for us. I'm not going to say no to like an extra 40 a month or whatever,
Seriously.
I like that. That's like almost 2 tanks of gas. And then, so you get that, you can kind of do brand deals. Some people do Patreon. I don't think they do super well. Cause again, like you can't really put out, like subscribe to my Patreon and have that video get to very many of your followers. Right now I sort of cheat where I like, if I really want to get something out to my followers, I will do the episode of the entirety of Gen Z and then save like 10 seconds at the end for me to be like, hey, could you guys go do this? La 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 la, and then like it ends. But because then I know it'll get to way more of my fan base than if I just made a video saying that.
Sure.
Unfortunately, because a lot of people will leave once it starts being me and not my funny stuff, it decreases my percent view time, and so kind of like shanks my numbers a little bit.
It's trade-off.
But it's a lot less than I would get if I didn't do that, but it's a lot higher than I would get if I made a video for just that. So I kind of have to decide what I want to sacrifice. So, and what is more important. Yeah, and so some people do Patreon. I don't think they do super well, but also on TikTok, a lot of people do PO boxes, which is interesting. A lot of the biggest creators, they'll set up a PO box that's not their address, because that would be a terrible idea.
Right.
For their fans to send stuff to them. And then they'll do like unboxing stuff of just like random stuff that they've been sent. And so once I hit like 100K, I might try that, set up a PO box and be like, do you want to send me rubber ducks and a strange t-shirt? Please do. Like,
I will have fun with that. Whatever that happens.
Yes. But I feel like digital products and even merch, like showing your merch on TikTok would also be harder than on YouTube. Holistically, it's just a worse platform to monetize on. But if people are looking to be discovered, like TikTok is it. It is, and I thought I was too cool, but I'm not. We got here and I'm having a grand old time. TikTok really is this strange middle ground between social media and YouTube. It's like, it's way more personal than YouTube. It's even more personal than social media, because like you're getting like videos, but it's not these like really like lengthy YouTube videos. I know. I don't know how to explain it. I wish I had words, but I don't. I like, even just with the people I follow, I feel way more engaged than I ever have with, like on Facebook, everything is so, like, it's just distant on other platforms, but there's something so intimate about TikTok. And it's, if you're wanting to appeal to the young, the youths, I refer collectively to my fans as the kids. Like, also something that's really cool about TikTok that's not true of like YouTube is I can see most of my followers' faces if I want to. Like if
Oh,
someone
wow.
leaves a comment, I can click their thing. So unlike YouTube, most people who are on the app have at least a few videos up, and typically they do show their face. And so, like, if someone leaves an interesting comment or whatever, I can be like, I wonder what this person looks like, or I can just kind of get a general feel for the age of my fan base. Also, my analytics tell me the gender, which, like, I'm not sure. I know tons of my followers are non-binary, and that's not represented at all, which is sad. They have to click a blue or a pink on the thing, but currently it says my fan base is like 86% female and 14% male. But the men have been coming back. That was almost like down to 12%. They're coming, and I'm proud of them. But I can also see where my fan base is from, and more than 20% of my followers are not from the United States, which is pretty cool. They're most of the ones that aren't from the United States are from the UK, Australia, Canada, or Germany. I've had a lot of comments from people who are from like New Zealand, the Netherlands, and so that's really cool that I'm talking to an international audience, and I like to keep that in mind when I'm making my videos. Like if I'm saying things in feet and then realize that the United States is just stupid, so I should probably like like I'll comment in it at the beginning. I'll be like, that's roughly this many meters, and I apologize for my nation's bizarrety. And you know, and I had to break them down myself because really the only reason I got onto the app was completely selfishly because I thought it was the best place to be discovered from just what I'd seen of people, and they're just way more likely to pump out a single video from a brand new creator way faster than you'll get on YouTube. But as soon as I got on it, I was like, this is really cool. And maybe it's because, so there are sides of TikTok, and there is what is called straight TikTok, which is where all the TikTok dances and like the point of view and really cheesy videos kind of show up, and prank videos. And I'm just not on straight TikTok. I am conversely on whatever side of TikTok like all the LGBTQ people are on, but also plus Bill Nye the Science Guy and Hank Green and a whole bunch of up and coming artists, which is something that's really cool to me, is being connected to these small musicians. When I first got on TikTok, even just a few months ago, there was a girl who was just having her TikTok videos go viral, who's been independently writing music for years, but she never really gotten anywhere. And she dropped a song that had been in a video that did really well. It's called Heartbreak Hotel. It's called Heartbreak Hotel, and it hit number 6 on the pop charts in like a few days, and it got over 1 million streams in 10 days. And she just dropped her first, like, well, I don't know about her first EP, but she dropped an EP with a lot of her new music, and it hit number 2 on the pop charts in a day.
That's amazing.
Just from all the TikTok kids. They're like, go stream, and it's all these like small time creators too who'll be like, go stream my song, and like they've never hit more than 1,000 streams, and suddenly they have 20,000 streams on a song, and it's these brand new artists and musicians that I just like. It's so exciting to see. And even with the small poetry stuff that I've dropped, when I did my All Lives Don't Matter Yet poem, there were a lot of kids who didn't love that it hadn't been put out to more people, and to try to help, they'll go in the comments section and they'll leave really long comments, and so they'll just drop like 1 million emojis until they hit the character limit, because that will like hit the algorithm. And even if they don't have someone to send it to, they will copy the link, which counts as a share, and so those are all things that will hit the algorithm. And so there's just this like coalition of watching people come together and work together to try to like help other people's dreams come true or get positive messages out there. Like there's so much like accountability and this sense that you can actually do something as one of just this big group. That's kind of the power of, if you can just get like a video that goes out like crazy, and it's these kids who are super engaged on this platform. In fact, I've even like I did a duet on my platform for like a small-ish musician in the UK who's really trying to launch himself. His name's Cameron Sanderson, and he's super cool. And I always like his stuff and copy the link, and I'm like, go fly. Like his stuff deserves to do really well. And so I duetted it. And even though I'm like small, he actually has less followers than me on TikTok, but he has like 32,000 followers on Instagram, which is bigger, and then he has over 100K on YouTube. So he's like larger than me. But I'm trying to like duet it and help his stuff get out on TikTok, and he gave me a shout out on his Instagram story. And then I was like, hey, thanks for doing that. And then we could like have a conversation like on Instagram. And I'm like talking to people who are halfway across the world because we're just trying to like work together to boost young and independent artists and musicians. I think it's really wholesome. Like I've been overwhelmed by the wholesomeness, and everyone has been so nice in the comments sections. So often when you become a creator, there are just so many haters. And there are certain videos that will get a lot of flack on TikTok, particularly if they feel like it was sexist or had, a message or something. But for just the funny stuff I've put out, the contrast between I've had some disgruntled comments where people were upset that I was quoting a post. They're like, come with your own stuff. And I'm like, literally my URL is called Recycled Tumblr. Like, what did you think I was going to be making? And then they're always like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read your URL. And I'm like, I know.
I could tell.
Complaining. Like, I'm literally being like, most of this, a lot more of my stuff is original now, but in the beginning it totally wasn't. Like, I was like, this is tried and true content that has gotten like 1 billion notes on Tumblr, so people think it's funny, so I might as well just use it. Like, and so, anyway, but besides the disgruntled comments, I've only had maybe like 2 genuinely mean comments on TikTok, like ever, and I have thousands of comments. And that's obviously I haven't read all of them, but I've read a lot of them, and like that percentage is just wild. Like they're like funnier than me, just like dropping like hilarious stuff in the comment sections. And the nicest things, half the time they just comment to compliment me. They're like, you have such beautiful eyes, or I love your hair, or I love your voice is so soothing. And I'm like, why are you so nice to me? Like, you're so kind. Versus when I sponsored one of my TikTok videos on Instagram, because it's supposed to send it out to people similar to your followers. So I don't know why the Instagram algorithm was like, these are it, this is the people. Because for some reason I got on like the Call of Duty war fanboy side of Instagram for no discernible reason. And they were like dropping the N-word in the chat and like in the comment section, they were being so mean. And so I, just turned off notifications until that had stopped being sponsored. So I wasn't reading any of those comments because protect your mental health. But like they were so mean versus on TikTok, like no one's mean. Like